पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरम्। सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 12th chapter. Jadabharat is telling that absolute or undivided knowledge is the ultimate reality. That pure undivided knowledge is realized as Brahman, Paramatma and the Bhagavan features. Brahman feature is the all-pervasive feature. Paramatma feature is the localized aspect which does not get influenced by the transformations of the body. And the third is the Bhagavan feature, or the feature of the absolute personality. The learned scholars call the personality to be Vasudeva, and devotees are able to understand this Supreme Lord, personal aspect of Supreme Lord. We heard purport by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, wherein he says that the ultimate reality is nothing but the undivided truth. That undivided truth is pure, and as per Srimad Bhagavatam, First canto, second chapter, Vadanti tat tattva vidah, those who are having the knowledge of the Supreme Absolute, they understand that absolute truth in three different aspects: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Later, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, through several citations from the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam as well as Bhagavad Gita, he has shown to us that Purna Brahma is nothing but Krishna. He also says that Krishnaya Paramatmane, Krishna is Paramatma. Then in another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Krishna is Bhagavan. So, that Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is addressed or identified as Brahma and Paramatma and Bhagavan at various places in Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita also you see that the Lord is telling that I am the source of Brahman. Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. So there also it is understood that Krishna is the root Brahma or the Parabrahma. And then he is telling Sarvasvacha aham hridhi sannivishto, I am entering into the every living entity as Paramatma. So therein he is telling that he is Paramatma. Vishtabhyahamidam Krishna, I am expanding everywhere in this material world. By this he is telling that he is an all-expansive Brahman feature. So in this manner, in Bhagavad Gita and all other scriptures, it has been, said at several places that Krishna is Brahman, Krishna is Paramatma, and Krishna is Bhagavan. That is Vasudeva. And then, ekhane bhaga shabder aishwaryo vachitva hetu. Bhagavan means Bhagavan, he who possesses wealth, aishwarya or opulences. Also, aishwarya means the controlling power. Krishna is the controller. If Krishna is the controller, ishitavyatva apeksha rakhe. There is a necessity of the persons who are being controlled. When you say controller, it means there is a necessity of a class of people who are being controlled. Evam ishitavya maik jivaganer purvokta juktite mityatva pramanita havai. And if this is if the Lord is said to be the controller of the living entities of this material world, it has been previously stated already that the living entities are not permanent. Their existence is not permanent, it is temporary. So, how can he be controller? Bhagavan is a controller, he is Ishvara, means he is Ishvara for some time, and then when there is no one, he is not an Ishvara, not like that. A king can be called as a king only when there is a kingdom and when there are subjects, isn't it? If a person is alone, he is the king, he is the ruler, he is the enjoyer, he is the sufferer, he is everything. He cannot be called as a king there. In a similar manner, controller means there should be a set of people who are being controlled. So who are those who are being controlled? If it is the living entities, then it only signifies the temporary nature of his being Supreme Lord. ताहार धामे निवासकारी भक्तगणे नित्य ताहार ईशितव्य इहा अवगत हुआ जाए. So you have to understand that he is the controller of his eternal dham, or it associates in the eternal dham, which actually proves that the Lord's abode is eternal, Lord's associates are also eternal. If the Lord is an eternal controller, then there should be some eternal dham also. There should be some eternal living entities also. So those eternal living entities are nothing but his associates. And that eternal place where all these living entities are living is nothing but eternal dham. Living entities are there means there should be an eternal place also, right? Earth is permanent, not permanent. The moving and non-moving creatures are not permanent. Because as long as moving and non-moving creatures are there, there should be a place for them to reside. The place is temporary, the living entities are temporary, and how can the Supreme Lord be eternal controller of anyone? For him to be eternal controller, there should be an eternal dham, eternal associates. This is what is being proved. You understand? You had a question yesterday? Is that answered? সেই ভক্তগণের এবং তদীয় ধামের নিত্য সত্যত্ব শ্রী ভগবানের ন্যায় শব্দ প্রমাণ সিদ্ধই ইহা প্রথম স্কন্দাদিতে প্রপঞ্চিত হইয়াছে. So even in the very first canto it has been stated that the Lord, his abode and his associates, they are all eternal. সেই রূপ যত সেবায়ান্তু নির্গুণাহ, আমার সেবাতেই ভক্তগণ নির্গুণ হন. মন নিকেতস্তু নির্গুণম, আমার ধাম নির্গুণ মাইক গুণরহিত ইত্যাদি দ্বারা एकादश स्कंदे भक्ति संबंधी वस्तु मात्रेरी नित्य सत्यत्व विवृत करिबेन. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that in the 11th canto, he is telling that in the first canto already the dham and associates are eternal has been stated. In the 11th canto also, that which is coming after this, it is told yat sevayastu nirgunah, those who are performers of my service, they are nirguna. Nirguna means transcendental. They are beyond the three modes of material nature. Means when the three modes of material nature or this material world is annihilated, that world is not annihilated. Or the devotees are not annihilated because they are transcendental. Transcendental means beyond the three modes of material nature. This Prakriti or this material world is going to be finished, but transcendental means that remains always. Man niketastu nirgunam, and he also told my niketana means my dham is also transcendental, means my dham is transcendental, my associates are eternal. When both are eternal, it means, it proves that the Lord is eternal. এখানে প্রকরণগত অভিপ্রায় হই এইরূপ, হে রাজন, তোমাদের ব্যবহার মার্গ প্রত্যক্ষাদি প্রমাণের দ্বারা সিদ্ধ হইলেও উহা মায়া রচিত জীবোপাধি মনের অনন্ত বিভূতি রূপ নিত্য বর্তমান রহিয়াছে, উহারা জাগ্রত ও স্বপ্নাবস্থায় আবির্ভূত এবং সুষুপ্তি ও প্রলয়কালে তিরোহিত হয়. You see, this, whatever are the customary activities in this material world, that is, you are a king and here are the palanquin carriers, here are the citizens or the subjects. These are all the activities on a temporary dealings. These are temporary practices. Of you being a king is a temporary thing or a customary thing. That can change any time. Right? He said previously, in the previous chapter we heard, today you are king and I am the palanquin carrier. With the influence of time, I may become king and you may become a palanquin carrier. That is possible. So my dear king, understand that these are all customary and these are all temporary. As long as we are, three modes of material nature are influencing, we are under the influence of it, they are changing. So here it appears that it is eternal or long lasting. When I am a king, I would never want to think that I will become a pauper again, isn't it? Oh, I am going to remain a king. But by the influence of time, anything can happen. Now, উহারা জাগ্রত ও স্বপ্নাবস্থায় আবির্ভূত এবং সুষুপ্তি ও প্রলয়কালে তিরোহিত হয়। In a awakened and dreaming state, they appear to be real. And in deep sleep, they disappear. Means, what it means is that when I am awake, I am thinking I am a king, I am a master, I am this, I am that. In sleep also, I am the master of my dreams, isn't it? What you are not originally, you can be that in your dreams. If you are a slave and the king is punishing you, in your dream you can become the king and the king can become a slave. Is it possible? Possible. But for how long? As long as the dream is existing. But the moment the dream is gone, again you come back to the position of slave, and here is a king who will chastise you. But both these are temporary. In deep sleep, when you go, you will totally forget up all your states. Whether you are a slave, you are a master, you are a king, or what, you don't know. There is no dream, and you are not in a daydream also, not in a awakened, so-called materially awakened state. You are in a deep sleep state where all your ahankara, egos, are completely vanished, isn't it? We have realized it, right? When we are in deep sleep, we don't identify whether we are a man or a woman or an Indian or an American, or whether I am Brahmana, I am a doctor, engineer, a king, a slave. No identifications. That is why Sushupti was the deep sleep state. Deep sleep state is the state where all the egos are finished. That is where it is called the inexistence comes into picture. So, here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing in the commentary that even though the king and slave relationship is a customary relationship, appears to be eternal, that is also going to vanish at one point. That's also going to disappear one day. उहार द्वारा स्वमते कालो ओ देशादिर द्वारा परिच्छिन्न हेतु उहादेर नश्वरत्व स्वीकार कराय काल देशादिर अपरिच्छिन्न तत्व चिद्घन वस्तुते व्यवहार मार्ग वैजात्य हेतुई आश्रय लाभ करेना इहा उक्त हइयाछे. So these are bound by time and circumstances. Means I am king of, let's say, Bengal. I cannot be king outside Bengal. Even though I am called as king, my kingdom is limited only to Bengal. If I want to show my power on the neighboring state, the king there will not allow me to do so. That is limited. Similarly, time. Now I am a king for, let's say, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. After that, my being a king has been attacked by someone, has attacked me, and I lost my kingdom and I am no more a king. So now when I am no more a king, I cannot show any power on my subjects because I am not a king any longer. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that with time and place, because it is controlled, in this material space, we are controlled by time and place and circumstances. Therefore, it is called as customary. The current position, in the current state it is, so it's customary, not real. काल देशादिर अपरिच्छिन्न तत्व चिद्घन वस्तुते व्यवहार मार्ग वैजात्य हेतुई, and these customary dealings are not applicable in transcendental realm, because in the transcendental realm it is not bound by place, bound by time. As we already heard previously, it is not that today Krishna is the Supreme Lord, after 100 or 200 years Shiva will become Supreme Lord. After some time, by voting of all the demigods, Ganesh will become Supreme Lord. It is not going to happen like that. Supreme Lord is one. There are no such customary dealings available in the spiritual plane. With time, they keep changing positions. Krishna, you have sat in the seat for a long time, you enjoyed being a king. Please give us also an opportunity, we will also enjoy. Shiva is not saying like this. Narayana is not saying like this. Krishna is, that's all. He is Anadi from time immemorial. He is the Supreme Lord. Nobody can challenge that position. Therefore, these customary dealings are limited only in this material world, which is full of three modes of material nature. In the transcendental realm, everything is transcendental, not relative, absolute, not relative to time, place and circumstances. Krishna, you are only ruling Gokul. You cannot talk about Swarga. You cannot enter into Vaikuntha planets. You are ruler of Goloka, you just mind your own business. Don't come to Kailash. Don't come to Swarga. This is outside your kingdom. No. There is no place limit, there is no time limit, and there is no circumstantial limit. He is beyond everything. So, the transcendental realm, no customary dealings are applicable there. तथापि व्यवहार मार्गै यदि पुनः पुनः उत्थापन करो ताहते अन्यान्य अद्वैतादिवादिगण এই ব্যবহারকে মিথ্যাই বলিয়া থাকেন, এই রূপে তাহাদের মতও উদাহৃত হইয়াছে, কিন্তু শব্দ প্রমাণ সিদ্ধ তত্ত্বে তাহারও প্রতিবাদ করেন না। এই জন্য পরিশেষে জ্ঞানম বিশুদ্ধম ইত্যাদি পদ্য উক্ত হইল। So, if you want to repeatedly say that, if you want to repeatedly bring these customary dealings only, then Advaitavadis means those who say that there is no Supreme Lord. There is no Supreme Lord. They don't accept the personal feature of Supreme Lord. Because when there is an existence of Lord, then these dealings also come. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Now when you say Supreme Lord, there is a dealing of he is the Lord and everyone else is his servant. But the Advaitavadis means those who are monistic philosophers, they say that there are no two independent beings. If you say controller, the controlled are also there. Therefore, they don't say controller. They say Brahma Satya. Brahman is all in all. We have to merge into Brahman. The moment you say controller, these dealings you are bringing into picture as a servant and master, as a controller and the controlled, as a worshipper and the worshipable. All these things are coming into picture. So, therefore, the Advaitavadis, they say that there are no dealings at all. Krishna Sakati Thakur is telling, okay, still, the point that everyone comes to conclusion is Jnanam Vishuddham. They also accept the pure knowledge. Advaitavadis, they also accept pure knowledge. Means the point is, even if some transcendentalists do not accept the existence of Supreme Lord, the personal feature, they believe in the Brahman feature of the Lord, and they call that Brahman feature as Vishuddha Jnana, transcendental knowledge or pure knowledge. Therefore, you have to transcend this material knowledge. That is the purport. What? Jada Bharat is telling is the Brahmavadis, Advaitavadis, they don't deny the existence of Nirguna Gyan, absolute truth or absolute knowledge. That is there. But they understand one aspect of it. That aspect is Brahman aspect. So, in a nutshell, what is being told is that all the living entities are temporary. They enter back into earth, the transformation of earth only. Earth is also temporary because it is entering back into an atomic particle. Even the atomic particle is temporary because the philosophers, in order to, because there is a necessity of some object from where everything has created, they have assumed the existence of Paramanu, atomic particle. In a similar manner, there are also several other elements, but all of them are temporary, created by the illusory energy only. Then the question is, what is absolute? Pure knowledge, transcendental knowledge is the absolute or ultimate reality. So, in context to that, he is telling that even if one does not accept the personal feature of Supreme Lord, the Advaitavadis, they accept the pure knowledge as an eternal substance. Is that clear? I am skipping some purport because he is getting into too much technical details. So, it is a little difficult to understand. So, I am just skipping so many other things. Rahu ganai tat tapasa na jati न चेज्यया निर्वापणात् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्यै बिना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्. हे रहुगण, महाभागवत गणेर पदरेणुते आत्मार अभिषेक व्यतीत ब्रह्मचर्य, गार्हस्थ्य, वानप्रस्थ, संन्यास अथवा जल, अग्नि और सूर्य प्रभृति देवतादेर उपासना द्वारा भगवत तत्व ज्ञान लाभ होय ना. So, in the previous verse we heard that absolute knowledge, pure knowledge is the ultimate reality. How can we understand it? How can we realize that absolute knowledge? Because you are telling everything in this world is temporary. How can we come in contact with that absolute knowledge? That which is beyond our material sense organs, that is beyond our imagination. Transcendental means what? Beyond three modes of material nature. But my mind, my sense organs, my body, my limbs, everything is under the modes of three modes of material nature. How can I understand an object which is above the three modes of material nature? He is telling that, my dear Rahugana, by following brahmacharya, by following celibacy, garhastya, by following nicely the household duties, being a very, very noble grihastha, vanaprastha, by giving up the family life, family attachments and entering into the forest, sannyas, by observing, sannyasa, renounced order, samyak nyas, by giving up all kinds of activities or all kinds of attachments, sannyas, or by worshipping the water, fire and sun, means the demigods who are presiding water, sun and the fire, etc. Nobody can attain that Bhagavad Jnana. Means by none of these practices, by observing brahmacharya, not possible. By becoming a very noble grihastha, not possible. By vanaprastha or by sannyasa, by worshipping the demigods of Surya, Agni, water, etc., nobody can attain the absolute knowledge. Then how can one get Bina Mahatpadarajobhishekam, without being bathed by the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees? No one can understand the absolute truth. The absolute truth is completely in the situated in the hearts of the pure devotees. Only when one is bathed by the dust of the lotus feet of such devotees, one can attain him. Otherwise, by performing brahmacharya vrata, by entire life one has lived a very, very celibate life. Not possible. By an ideal or noble grihastha, not possible. By none of these things it is possible. So, the key to receive this absolute knowledge is not any of our material efforts. By studying scriptures, by doing this, by doing that, by control of the senses, by none of these things it is possible. It is possible only by the mercy of the pure devotees. By the dust of when we are bathed in by the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee, means mercy of the pure devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bhakta Padajal, Bhakta Padarenu, Bhakta Uchishta. এই তিন হয় ভক্তির বল. What is the strength? How do we get strength in devotional activities? Bhakta Padarenu, the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. Bhakta Padajal, the water that has washed the feet of the pure devotees. And Bhakta Uchishta, the remnants of the pure devotees. These are the requirements to strengthen one's devotion. One's devotion is strengthened by these. So, other than the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees, there is no other way. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, এই ভগবত তত্ত্ব জ্ঞান লাভৌ মহাতের কৃপাবশতঃ আবির্ভূতা ভক্তি ব্যতীত হয় না, ইহা বলিতেছেন দুইটি শ্লোকে. So in this verse and the coming verse, it is being mentioned that this pure knowledge or transcendental knowledge is not obtained without devotion, and that devotion is attained by the mercy of the pure devotees. Bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta sangena parijayate. Devotion is attained by the company of the pure devotees. If without the company of the pure devotees, nobody can attain devotion. By going through scriptures, by studying, so many Vedas, etc. Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova Mito Abhipatyeta Griha Vratanam. Prahlad Maharaj is telling, Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova. Those who are engrossed in material enjoyments, by their individual effort or even by their collective effort, nobody can make one Krishna conscious. Adanta gopi vishatam tamishram punah punashcharvit sarvananam. Because they are adanta gopi, they are enjoying their senses to the extreme. How can they give knowledge about Supreme Lord? How can they bring anyone to Krishna consciousness? They can neither help themselves nor can they help others in coming to the path of Krishna Bhakti. Then who can help? Those who are already submitted to Supreme Lord. Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. By the company of the pure devotees, one can attain bhakti by no other process. So this is being explained in this verse and the next verse. That by the mercy of the pure devotees, the knowledge about the Supreme will descend. Not by self-study, not by knowledge, not by great intellect, not by any personal effort, nor by any qualities. What is that verse? Yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyaite kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmanah. A person who has got faith, firm faith to the feet of Guru, as one has to the feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, only in the heart of such Mahatmas, great souls, the knowledge is revealed. When we are talking about this knowledge, the knowledge of the Supreme is a self-revealed knowledge. It is not an acquired knowledge. Nobody can acquire the knowledge about the Supreme. You understand? By any process, we cannot acquire the knowledge. Means by study, by hearting, by intelligence, by none of these things we can acquire transcendental knowledge. What can we acquire? We can acquire that which is lowly to me, which is lower to me, inferior to me, I can acquire that. But that which is superior to me, I cannot acquire. I have to pray for the mercy. Isn't it? Something that is superior to me, I cannot acquire by my desire. I have to pray for the mercy. I can order a person who is subservient to me. But if I have to get some favor from who is superior to me, I have to pray for his favor. I have to pray for his mercy. I cannot acquire by my individual capacity. So, tasyaite kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. The true purports of all the divine knowledge will be revealed in the heart of those who have got one-pointed faith in the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Sri Guru is the best of all devotees. They are Shuddha Bhaktas, and Sri Guru is the best among all the Shuddha Bhaktas. Means, ultimately, by having firm faith in a pure devotee or by serving a pure devotee, the knowledge of the scriptures are revealed. Or in another sense, the absolute knowledge will be revealed. It will descend. It cannot be acquired or it cannot be captured just because I have got intelligence power or I have got books. No. Because the practical knowledge, the realized knowledge and the textbook knowledge, they are very, very different. Now, mother teaches the daughter how to cook. So daughter thinks, oh, very easy, cooking is very easy. Just put oil, put some spices and then put some vegetables, cover and then put the salt and it is cooked. But when she actually comes to the kitchen and she starts cooking, oh my God, I thought it's so easy. I have done the course, cooking book, I have done the course. My mother has taught me everything. I have written in my book also what is to be prepared, what next. But when I actually enter into the field, I will understand what problems will come. You have to stir from time to time. There are so many other, little things that one will learn by experience, by self-study and self-understanding, realization. Just like when you put milk, mother says that boil the milk. Okay, boiling milk, okay, putting the milk on the fire, milk is getting boiled. But when it gets boiled, it comes out of the vessel. Mother has not told me what to do. She told boil the milk. Boiling water, I thought boiling water, boiling milk is the same. So what to do next? Only when I enter into the kitchen I will know. I have to put some cold water on top of it, or I have to turn off the gas, or I have to bring it down the gas. I will know only after that. Simply boil milk. Okay, boiling milk easy. So the knowledge is, textbook knowledge is totally different from a practical knowledge. In a similar manner, we have all the books written, oh, Supreme Lord's form is like this, Supreme Lord is like this, and his devotees are like this, his dham is like this, he is wearing, this flower garland, oh, very nice. But it's all theory, it's all there, in the air. But when it actually enters into the heart, means when we start performing bhajan, means when we enter into the kitchen, then that theoretical knowledge will slowly become realized knowledge. And after that, even if you are 100 meters, 200 meters away from the kitchen, oh, I think it is burning, I have to quickly go and turn the sabji, otherwise it will become bitter, or it will become black. But previously when you are in the kitchen also, you are not able to understand where is the smell coming from. What is this? Because you have no experience. Then you see, suddenly you open the lid of the sabji, you see that it's already burnt. Oh, you have not understood. But when you have experience, even 100 meters away, oh, some smell is coming. I think the rice is burning, the sabji is burning. So the knowledge of realized textbook knowledge is there. But when we study under the pure devotees, when the knowledge is realized, then we will see, oh, Krishna is everywhere. Previously it is there in the textbook, Krishna is everywhere. But once I practice, oh, Krishna is, I will be able to see in reality. Just like even though I am from kitchen, I can understand what's going on in the kitchen by smell. So in a similar manner, by knowledge, experienced knowledge, realized knowledge, we will be able to see all the secrets of the scriptures as it is. How is it possible? Bina Mahat Padrajobhishekam, without the mercy of the pure devotees or the dust of the pure devotees, it is not possible. हे रहुगण, एतत् पूर्वोक्त रूप त्रिविध ज्ञान तपस्या प्रभृतिर द्वारा प्राप्त हुआ जायना. So whatever has been mentioned, like brahmacharya, celibacy. How come time is so quickly gone? I will speak tomorrow. I didn't realize that. We'll continue tomorrow. You also very smartly did not. Yes. You also very smartly did not remind me about the time. Vanchakalpa. Oh, in the kitchen we lost time, huh? Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. परमाराधितम पतित पावन श्रोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद प्रणोम स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय. जय श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय. जय श्री अद्वैत पत्नी श्रीमती सीता ठाकुरानी आविर्भाव तिथि पूजा की जय. चातुर्मास्य व्रत की जय. व्रत पालनकारी भक्तवृंद की जाए, श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जाए, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाए। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।